y'all. Stock Warden here, back with another video. Today, we're looking at Archer Aviation and how their rise and fall has been a completely unpredictable wild roller coaster ride. So, as it ends for today, they ended up down even lower than they have been in quite some time now at $10.03 a share. So, a lot of this is coming in from a lot of different news, plus lawsuits, and also a lot of extra news that has been coming in that's been somewhat positive for the front outlook of this company. So stay tuned to be able to hear all the great and exciting news and to be able to see how this company is going to come back and make a huge statement in not only the world market, but also in the stock market. So, without further ado, we're going to start with how they're going to end up bringing in to report their second quarter of 2025 operating update with all their financial results on August 11th, 2025. So they're planning on bringing all of this out on Monday, not this upcoming Monday, but the next. They're going to host a live webcast to discuss its results at 2 p.m. Pacific time. The live webcast and replay will be available at investors.archer.com. So there is also a link as well where you can see that they have different phone numbers that you can listen to the conference call as well by dialing in a phone number. So that's also something that you can also get into as well if you're able to listen to it live. So all that was great. And we're hoping to see that they have a better, as you come down here to the bottom right hand side of your screen. In Q1, it was absolutely crazy how they surpassed their estimate, where they were able to bring in amazing earnings in the first quarter, and they're expecting to do it again in the second. So stay tuned for all of that news and all of the great sides that's going to be coming on August 11th once they finally release everything out to the public on what this company has been through and where it's going. So, why is this stock dropping and why is it dropping so drastically? Well, this stock, Archer Aviation, has fallen into some heavy legal troubles where they ended up with a huge lawsuit that alleges that Archer Aviation has misled investors with overly optimistic timelines and inaccurate claims about its technological advancements. So that's just saying that they were being sued by probably somebody that's not gotten their what they feel that their money's worth is for this stock, because they've been pushing their news really strong about how their eVTOL system, their electrical vertical takeoff and landing system, is going to be so revolutionary and things are going to be happening, relatively fast. They're getting all this stuff done with the FAA, getting contracts and getting not just contracts, but they're also getting all of their permits where they're going to be able to use all of their systems in the sky, in the air, around these huge skyscrapers, and to be able to use them in very heavily populated areas, because they're looking at using them for, Las Vegas, New York City, LA, San Francisco, all of these huge places where it's supposed to help with different areas of traffic. And they're also been boasting hugely about making these air taxis cheap enough to where it's not just going to be for the elite or the rich, where they're saying that everyday people will be able to have access to use their air taxi service as well. So, but back to the lawsuit at hand. The founder and CEO of Archer Aviation, Adam Goldstein, posted on X that the legal team gave him a readout of yesterday's Delaware Chancery court ruling on their case, and he said that he couldn't share a whole lot, but what he was able to share is that our strategy with this motion to dismiss was successful. Our goal was to narrow the claims, and that's exactly what the judge did. We don't expect this lawsuit will have a real impact on the company and continue to expect this case will be resolved before trial. So that's something that is definitely amazing to be able to hold on to, because this stock dropped really heavy and really hard whenever they announced the lawsuit over all these allegations stating that Archer is supposedly promising all of this, overly hyped, amazing stuff where their company is going to be soaring within a couple of days. But if you actually read and pay attention to what they're doing and how they're doing it, all of the stuff that they're doing takes time. You can't just get a permit to fly any type of system, much less a brand new flight system inside a highly populated area, because you're looking at practically a new type of helicopter that they're talking about throwing around outside in the air 24/7. So that's something that's going to have its own set of challenges and its own set of roles that is going to end up playing out a longer game than what, well, some people, I believe, expected. And that's where this lawsuit ended up stemming from. So, but they have also been able to turn around and be able to put out that they are going to be helping move athletes and fans at the 2028 Summer Olympics. So that is kind of putting a timeline on what Archer Aviation is going to be doing. So they've been saying that they'll possibly get their air taxi systems up by, the beginning of 2026. They've been saying that it should be fully integrated by the end of 26, maybe going into 27. So with them kind of taking a beat, taking a step back and re-looking at this lawsuit that they've been put into, to be able to see that, okay, maybe some people could be getting the wrong idea of what we're doing and how this process works. So let's actually stage this stuff out and kind of put it in more of a black and white area to be able to show everything kind of to everybody. So we all know that the 2028 Olympics are being held in America at this time for the Olympics. So it is a huge aspect that Archer Aviation is going to be bringing in, helping to move athletes and fans at the Summer Olympics, because then it's going to help cut down on so much issue. So the eVTOL sector is expected to grow as it gains support from the Trump administration, as I've talked about before in my previous videos on Archer Aviation. And it's completely demonstrating amazing uses in not only defense, but also improving traffic congestion, which is why they're wanting to put them in these huge overpopulated cities. So to be able to fly above traffic in a straight line, to be able to go faster, and to be able to get to different destinations quicker than, say, sitting in a car for 30 minutes and you can be in the air for all of 5, how much of a price is that actually worth? Because that's not only saving you, time, but that's also got to be saving a huge headache for a lot of people that are dealing with every day-to-day life with the congestiveness of big city life. So that's something that's going to be amazing to look into as well for this company, to where their taxi service, as long as priced correctly, will soar, figuratively and literally. So they're believing that the supply companies will be able to produce these systems to be able to add 30 to 50% of consumers saying that they believe that they'll be able to get into and be comfortable riding in these systems. Because right now, there has been a lot of issues with airplanes. There have been airplane crashes, there have been airplane fires, there have been all kinds of different things happening where people have died, people have been injured, and a lot of different things going on with our air traffic. So bringing Archer Aviation into this, saying that they're going to have 100 birds in the sky, not to mention the giant planes and helicopters, police helicopters, news helicopters, and everything else, there's a lot of people that are skeptical on wanting to get into these type of transportation systems, knowing that the risk is Well, what goes up must come down because gravity wins 100% of the time. So that's going to be something else to be able to see how they're able to overcome that hurdle in just your day-to-day people's market, and how they're going to be able to put out their safety on these eVTOL systems, along with them being completely electric. So, but with all that being said, they've got plenty of time to get it all together, work out all the kinks. They're also putting in a huge deal with AI. They've partnered with Palantir and Joby to be able to kind of bring everything together and try to make something like this come to light. It is a great business model. It is also another amazing way to think and transport many different things, whether it be people, it be troops, it be athletes, it be supplies. It can be a very profitable thing and a very amazing company as well with a lot of the stuff that they're doing. So, with all that, this stock is definitely one to look at, to hold on to. Just because it's dropping down doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to tank out. As it stands right now, it is holding a pretty decent resistance line, because if you come over and you see that all the way back in June 13th, you can see where it ended up closing on this day at $9.99, but it's holding a solid program where your resistance line, just say at the closing at $9.99, and then today at 10.03, we're looking at a solid line where it's steadily bouncing off of, rising up to, and it's just staying all within this area. So we had a great run up, a great bull flag, but with the lawsuit and a lot of the negative news, and also they had a huge selling of shares that was worth over $1 million, where it dropped a lot of the stock back kind of down to where it originally was, and where it's been steadily bouncing off of this main resistance line. So we'll see within the next couple of days after Friday and kind of how the rest of next week's going to play out going into their Q2 earning report for August 11th. After that, we'll be able to really see if they're going to start back into a bull flag again, or if they're going to continue on this bearish trend to break out this resistance to start going down once more. So on the bottom end of this, you're looking at another step where you ended up coming all the way back into May, where you had one tick here, one here, then you had another one over here in June. So it is possible that we could see another drop down into the lower third of the nines, to be able to see how this resistance line is going to stack up as well if it breaks through and holds under this $10 a share line. So that is something to definitely watch for and see how this is going to play out if you're a short shareholder, or if you're planning on holding this stock for long term. I personally believe that this stock would be an amazing thing to be able to hold on to long term. So, because this company seems that they have their stuff together and they are moving in the correct direction, where everything for this company should be profitable. Now, given I am not giving you any specific financial advice, this is strictly for information and educational purposes only. So do with your portfolio how you see fit. But with all of that, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment if you liked the video, or if you didn't like the video. Comment and tell me what you didn't like about it. So, because I'm always looking to improve and pursue better for these videos and better information for y'all to bring it out. So that, and if you also have a different stock that you hold on to and that you like to watch and that you hold in your portfolio, drop it down in the comments below too. I'd love to be able to check out another stock to be able to push out to the rest of the community here on YouTube. Well, with all that being said, this is the Stock Warden riding off. So y'all come back now, you hear?